literature teacher as well. She has the finest tune in articulating language, which I followed her. And then we had people like Kim Kos' companion, Mr. Kimbeng. We used to call him Kim Kos' companion because he knew how the history, the world affairs, current affairs, European history. He was just a force to reckon with. And they were my role models. I loved them. And another person that I also loved was my friend, Kale Wusi, who is now Professor Kale Wusi. He in fact, he was, you see with that big book like that history book, he reads the book all. And so they were my role model because he had a passion for reading. He made me also to read. And if I am today doctor, it's because of him. He's already a professor and he's flying all over the place. Thank you very much, Professor Kale Wusi, for even coming to my defense in PhD. You are really a friend indeed.
So are we saying that our youth should have role model?
You should have role model, not only a teacher, but even your classmate, whom you can look upon and you see some positive traits that you can follow. And that's exactly what happened. Professor Kale Wusi was really a role model and still a role model.
You admire him?
I admire him.
What were the critical things? What were the critical things that you admire?
He was very focused and very resilient. That's somebody that when we used to go in the evening to go and study in JHS Libe, when he sits on top of his book to study, he will study about 3-4 hours. So when I see him, he's not getting up, I can also get up. And I love such people, and they really role model my life.
Are you saying that those beliefs, those attributes, that personality trait that he had motivated you?
It motivated me a lot, Dr. Busi, because I will tell you, frankly speaking, that even till today, even after my PhD, from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., every blessed day, I am up to read. Now I'm already ready to see how I can start producing articles.
You said that you failed the advanced level 5 times, yes. Dr. Lingondo Mwambo.
Yes.
I want to ask you, what were your reading skills, what were your study skills by then that made you to fail, so that people can learn?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Busi. I think that was one of the shortcomings because I was just reading like a fool. I did not really know. I read materials. I never had a guide. When you are reading and you don't have a guide who can help you to know exactly how to read.
Did you go back to an evening school?
Yes, of course. After failing advanced level the first 2 times in JHS Limbe, there was no way for me to continue there. So I went to Musole Evening School. And I read again and did not still make it. I read again the next time and did not still make it. But I was very resilient because I knew that I will only continue to fail as long as I have given up. As long as I never gave up, I succeeded finally.
Mr. Divisional Chief of Service for School Maps in Meme for primary school. This is the first time I'm getting that you failed advanced level.
Of course, even my wife in the house.
5 times. And I think that your story has a lot to reckon with because there are many Cameroonians out there who have failed exams and given up. We are telling our youth that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. When you fail, failure makes you to be strong. Failure makes you to be determined. Failure makes you to be optimistic. So when you have vision in life, you fail, don't give up, our people out there. What are the names of some of your best teachers in secondary school?
I told you earlier, Dr. Busi, that Madame Dipchop, Dipchop was one of my formidable teachers, English literature, because she could articulate words properly. Mr. Kame also was a good literature teacher. Mr. Kimbeng was a very good history teacher. Mr. Ngong, who taught us economics, was somebody who knew the dynamics of economics, and he made me to love, and that's why I did A3, because I loved them. I saw them as role model. I was an student, I would have done A1 or A4, but I decided to do A3 because I love those teachers, the way they taught me. And today,
okay, exactly. You are an academia.
Yes.
You are now a doctor.
Yes.
From a primary school classroom, you were teaching to an administrator. Now you have a PhD.
Yes.
Having a PhD in your life, what were the indicators? What were the vision you have behind you that made you achieve this goal from a primary school teacher to a doctor?
Thank you very much, Dr. Busi. I will really tell you that the failure that I failed instead gave me inner fortitude to continue. And that's why when I entered the university, the least GPA I had was 3 point second class uppers until I finished my PhD. I never went to second class lower. No. that's one of the indicators, because the failure motivated me and gave me inner resilience and fortitude to work hard. And secondly, I also discovered that people who have succeeded in life, they are people who will never give up. I remember, as I told you, Professor Kalewusi. I take him as a role model because he was somebody who also fought in life. He left.
Has he mentored you?
He mentored me by his action and by the way I saw his life. In fact, he was a role model because he left Cameroon after his advanced level and fought and went to South Africa and fought and went to Nigeria, struggling to succeed. So I saw him as a role model.
From nothing to something.
From nothing to something. Today he's the director of most of the African countries in peace keeping countries, peace and resolution.
Exactly. Congratulations. I will keep on congratulating you because I think that you're an example for others out there who have given up to see that they can bounce back, and you have emotional resilience.
Yes.
You have mental resilience, and you have psychosocial resilience.
Yes.
That is what keeps people moving. Emotional resilience.
Yes.
When you fail, don't isolate yourself. Join the society and join the pathway and niche your own life pathway and keep going.
There were some people who were even mocking at me when I failed. They say, you fail exam, tie your hat. You fail exam, oh, tie your hat. They were mocking at me, but that mockery instead gave me a kind of boldness inside.
Exactly.
Because I told myself that because they were singing this the day Yango song, which they say that it was not you fail exam, that's not what the day Yango sang. But they used it now and they were mocking at me, my friends, my peers around, most of them who are giving up in schools. So I mustered momentum and strength and I pressed on, and when I got it, the next thing I told myself was that I had to go to Teachers Training College, which I went.
Okay, let me read this message, sir. Good evening, sir. I'm really enjoying the show. Thank you very much. Please keep impacting us. Okay. Please, next time when you write, please, may you write where you are writing from. Keep impacting us. We are impacting life. Our viewers are watching us. Yes. And we are where we are today because we started from our little beginnings.
Yes.
So what were some of your little beginnings in terms of the odd jobs you did in life before becoming an administrator, before becoming a classroom teacher, before becoming a PhD holder?
Dr. Busi, I have a story to tell.
Narrate to us then.
Now, this is what happened when after failing severally advanced level, there was no way, nobody to sponsor me. My father had died. My mother was just a housewife. So a pastor, one very famous pastor that I will not want to call his name, opened a club called the Gardeners Project, where we cultivated cucumber, leeks, turnips, tomato, and I was there to work without any salary. I was carrying the tomatoes from my head, moving from house to house, selling it to make money so that I can forge ahead with my school after I had the advanced level because there was nobody to send me to school. So I sold tomato, I sold leeks, I sold carrots, cucumber, and I even sold rabbits to buy my first shoes because I was always wearing the sandals. I sold rabbits. Yes, I was a rabbit seller. In fact, I cultivated rabbits and then I sold them. I went to supermarket that late 90s. I had to go there to sell rabbits. And then successfully, I tried the entrance into teachers training, and that was the first time I passed an entrance into an examination, which motivated me a lot. But I had gathered money from the sales which I was selling, carrot, cucumber, leeks, because there was nobody. My father was not there, nobody to send me to school. So I was just like a self-made young man.
Dr. Lingondo Mwambo, Mr. Divisional Chief of Service for School Maps in Meme Primary School in Cameroon. Mr. Divisional Chief of Service, may you advise young Cameroonians out there who do child work? I believe in the school of thought of child work because I do not believe in child labor, but there is child labor. We should not accept child labor. But Africa is a daunting environment. Africa is a painful environment. We that grew up in Africa, we grew up through stressors, life stressors, psychosocial stressors. We never gave up. Like your stories you are reckoning, you didn't give up. I want you in few seconds. There are children out there, after school, go to Munya Market, you will see them selling. Go to Sopo Market, you will see them selling. Some will leave Mutengene and trek to Boya and sell Congo meat and sell banana and sell whatever to contribute to family welfare. and you sowed rabbit, you sowed carrot, you sowed tomatoes, it helped you, nurtured you, and it was the gateway for you to enter the government teacher training college by writing the entrance, Mr. Divisional Chief of Service. So, Mr. Divisional Chief of Service, advise our young Cameroonians there who are selling and going to school, especially the kids. Because if you look at it keenly, you see children from 8 years, 9 years, 10 years selling. What advice can you give to them to build skills and also not to be violated?
Well, first of all, I will appreciate and applaud parents who are training their children to do that. Even though they have monies that they can still forge ahead those children they are schooling. But at the same time, I will plead with the parents who are using those children like child labor to take them. They are not going to school. Every time they are only there to work and they will not send them to school. I'll say it is child abuse, child labor. It's not correct. It should stop. The children who have decided to, maybe they are from poor parents, they don't have money, they are poor and they are struggling to work using their hands and they are helping somebody, they are gaining skills and they are gaining wisdom and insight to manage their life. So I will tell you not to give up. Get that money that you are having and at the end of the day, use that money to sponsor yourself in school. Your parents will be very happy. In America and other places, you discover that children, whatever they do, their parents even pay them. So these children, as they are going out, they are selling, doing whatever they are doing in the society. We applaud you for inner resilience. That's a culture of an African child. It is correct. It is good. I appreciate that. But don't over-labor the children, because when you over-labor the children will not be able to get up early in the morning to go to school. They will be tired and they will be sleeping in class. And we don't want that. We as pedagogues, the child should have a time to study, a child to go and sell, a child to rest, and a time to rest and a time to study, and a time to go to school. Balance it, and you have a wonderful child.
Thank you very much, sir. When you look at people like Obama,
yes.
Obama came from a remote neighborhood in Kenya.
Yes.
And he had faith in him. He had self-esteem. He had confidence. Obama worked very, very hard.
Yes.
And Obama became a great man. Yes. Obama became the president of America. Obama became very, very successful because he was a black man that became the president of America. Yes. We have seen situations whereby our people, our children out there feel that because they come from peasant family, yes, they can't make it. You came from a humble background, a struggling background. Today, you are an academic doctor. Mr. Academic Doctor, what advice do you have to give to that child that is coming from Akofunguba, from that child that is coming from Bafut, yes, that child that is coming from Bakweriland, that child that is coming from Bukwango, yes, from Bitingi, yes, that child that is coming from Kumba, a remote village in Kumba, that child that is coming from a remote village in Limbe, yes, that child is coming from a remote village in Yaoundé, yes, that child that has never put on a shoe, that have never put on a decent dress, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Advise those children to think big, sir. Now,
I want to advise all the children, those from Tukumbu, from Bitingi, from Buana, Bova, those from Kang Barombi in Kumba, wherever you are, as a young child who is lovable and who has a desire to study, don't give up. Whatever your parents are doing, they are training you. Study and at the same time help your parents. That's where your blessing will come. And I will say this again to the parents. Don't overwork the children. Even though they are struggling to make ends meet, to get maybe money to forge ahead with their education, give them your helping hand. Stand with them. Encourage them. Buy their books. And make sure that they have good friends. Every child who has a bad friend will go nowhere. What is making me today, I can talk like a doctor, it was because of my peers, the people around me. Because your environment will either nurture or either mar or make you. If you have a terrible friends, you become a delinquent in the family, in the society. You must choose your friends, young people. Those who has come, has run away from them. Don't go closer to them. They will take you to nowhere. If you want to struggle to get money at your early age, you are there to labor to get money. Know that it is dangerous for you. One day at a time, build an inner resilience. Study
What is resilient? What is resilient? Because they might not understand the concept resilient.
Yes.
Simplify that to our young adolescents, to our youth, to our children, that we want to see them to become nation builders of Cameroon of tomorrow.
Yes, I want to talk to all those children. Resilience is the inner strength, inner fortitude, the power inside, the energy inside. That in spite of things, they are behaving as if you are collapsing, but you still get up, you stand up, you say, no, I will not give up. I will not give up. That's inner resilience. And I want you to build it up. When you build it up, you go far in life. Only those who have built inner resilience, inner fortitude, they have energy inside, they have made it. Those who are sleepers, those who only want that, they are more.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Baba Dampolo, the owner of Nextel, started with truck driving.
Yes.
He started his business in truck driving.
Yes.
Baba Dampolo is one of the richest Cameroon today.
Yes.
Papa Kaji also started as such.
Yeah, of blessed memory.
Of blessed memory.
Yes.
Fosso Victor started like as such.
Yes.
Papa Guarantees, so Granite.
Yes.
These are people to reckon with. They started with little beginnings.
Yes.
They dream big. Yes. They thought big, and they become responsible. You came from a humble background.
Yes, doctor.
Today, you are a doctor. Keep on advising those Cameroonian youths that are in the hinterland, that have not gone to school for 5 years, that they think that is the end of life. That is not the end of life. Hope, give them advice, sir.
I want to tell all those who are even in the bushes, come out from those bushes. You stay there, you are deceiving yourself. Come out from those bushes. You have relatives all over the place. Go and study. Don't deceive yourself. People are saying that they will never recognize the GC. Your friends who wrote, some of them are already in universities. Some of them are in high school. Others who are intelligent.
Also advise those children.
Yes.
Because we are looking at life possibilities.
Yes.
There are also children that their parents are in abject poverty. They are living below the poverty line. They cannot even have 500 francs a day. Advise such kids that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, those children whose parents cannot even make it, cannot even afford 500 francs a day. You should not give up. As you are struggling, as you rightly said, you are struggling to sell whatever you are struggling to do now, gather money and go back to school. One thing I will say is that you are never too old to go to school. I entered university when I was already 40 years old. 40 years.
Wow.
Yes, 40 years. That was when I started my university education. So I had to build.
Are you a doctor today, doctor?
Yes, I'm a doctor
you have
today.
A positive
yes.
Story to
so if I say I entered university, I've done 9 good years to become what I am today. I'm entering 49 years. So you can imagine my age.
Wow.
So if you say you are too old, because I see some children, they say maybe at 16, 17, they cannot go to school. That's fallacy. Get up, sit up, sell small granola and do whatever, and go and write common entrance examination and first school living certificate, and after that enroll to any evening school and start studying.
Thank you, Dr. Lingondo.
Yes.
You went to the university at 40 years.
Yes, I did.
That I've taught a course in the university called Psychology of Adult Learning, and that one is called Andragogy.
Yes.
And I want to say that it is all about the art and science of studying adult study.
Yes.
And I appreciate you for your inner fortitude. I appreciate you for your inner energy. I appreciate you for your inner motivation.
Yes.
Because that is what made you have your PhD. When you went back to school, despite your age, you were humble.
Yes.
And today, you are a successful gentleman.
Doctor, one thing I will tell you is that my friends that were teaching together in primary school, they thought I was joking when I was going back to school. Until one of my head teacher even said, Mr. Lingondo, why are you so overambitious? Why are you going back to school? Sit down, build your house and start making children and whatever. I said those things will follow suit. So I had an inner conviction, because you must have inner conviction. Besides inner resilience, you must have inner conviction. Is that inner conviction that pushed me and even went right up to Calabar to go and
Permit me read these messages.
Yes.
Hello, Dr. Busi. Greetings to you in the studio. I am watching you live from Moliko. I think the program is educative. Thank you for impacting us, Mr. Lingondo. Thank you for inspiration.
Thank you.
React to that viewer.
Yes, I thank you also very much Point of correction, I'm not Mr. anymore. I'm Dr. Lingondo now. As a result of hard work. So sit up and also work hard. Your title will change from Mr. to Doctor. If you work extremely hard, I will tell you, no, in fact, they confer the degree of a doctorate. They don't award it. So it's as a result of hard work. You who has just written, I applaud you for that.